Back on the SportsMax zone, and we are staying with cricket. Kraigg Braithwaite created history at Kensington Oval on Thursday, stroking the highest individual score for Barbados against Jamaica in round 2 of the 4-day West Indies Championship. The West Indies Test captain batting for 10 hours over 2 days and compiling a classy 276 in the Barbados Pride total of 521 for 8 declared. This in reply to the Scorpions' first innings score of 328 all out. Braithwaite's double century is the 7th highest first-class score at Kensington Oval, and Barbados went on to secure a 10-wicket victory over the Jamaicans on the final day. Scores overall in the match: the Jamaica Scorpions 328 and 233. The Barbados Pride 521 for 8 declared and 42 without loss. Jamel Warrican, the left-arm spinner, picking up 6 wickets in the West Indies' second innings effort and triggering the comfortable Barbados Pride victory. But the big double hundred by Kraigg Braithwaite is where we are at the moment at Mariah and George. And what a time for him to deliver it, you know, on the eve of getting ready for the Test series against the English team, for which he'll be the West Indies captain.
Yeah, it's a good sign, especially because I mean, we were talking about the T20 in the previous segment, but it applies because we know how even in Test cricket, our openers, they continue to struggle. George, you've called, you know, to figure out who can replace the top 2. You were trying to, like, find suggestions and whatnot. And Kraigg Braithwaite would have probably listened to you, put his hand up and say, well, George Davis, that's my spot. Take it down. And I mean, rightfully so. I just hope that, you know, he can translate this form into West Indies cricket. But because I get the sense that there's a massive gap. They do really well for franchise cricket. They represent their country and they step up. But the moment we wear the maroon, something happens. Another good thing.
Yeah. Look, I've seen runs at the regional level translate into nothing at the highest level. That doesn't apply for Kraigg Braithwaite because he is and has been campaigning at the top level for a long time. And he has centuries at the top level, multiple centuries to his belt, so we know that he can hold his own there. The issue with Kraigg Braithwaite is never his talent. It's always his lack of a second gear and the fact that he almost bats himself into a stupor sometimes. Look, Kraigg Braithwaite should be notching up centuries at the regional level with monotonous regularity. That's the phrase I'm looking for, because he is better than the level Kraigg Braithwaite is. He has the talent to flourish at Test level, but for some reason that he himself doesn't know, because he wouldn't know and still be inconsistent at the top level. For some reason that he doesn't know, he can't quite put it together with consistency at the top level. So I'm very happy that he has these runs on the tin. I'm very happy for his milestone. I am not surprised. I am, as I said, expecting that Kraigg Braithwaite will score centuries all the time at this top level. And the fact is, though, I want to see him establish himself as a force to be reckoned with consistently at the top level, because he's shown us in the past that he has that ability.
Lots of runs under his belt.
He has a lot of appetite for scoring runs, Kraigg Braithwaite. Let's hope he will have a flourishing series against the English. Now, the West Indies will host the English team starting next month in a 3-match Test series for the Wisden Trophy. And the matches will be played in March, and as expected, there's much debate over who should make the squad ahead of the first Test, which bowls off on the 8th of March at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua. Now, our SportsMax zone hosts made their own selections. Let's take a look first at Mariah's 13-man squad. That's what we were asked to deliver, Mariah.
Yeah. So I had Kraigg Braithwaite as the captain, John Campbell, Shimron Hetmyer gets into my team. Jason Holder, of course, he's on top form. Kyle Mayers, Shane Dowrich, I'm giving him the opportunity. Joshua De Silva, Roston Chase, and even better yet after today. Nkrumah Bonner, Kemar Roach, young Jaden Seals, Raymond Reefer, and Shamar Holder. That's my 13.
Well, okay.
You like?
Come on, good squad.
There's my 13. Kraigg Braithwaite, captain, Jermaine Blackwood, Nkrumah Bonner, John Campbell, Roston Chase, Kyle Mayers, Joshua De Silva, Jason Holder, Shane Dowrich, Zara Joseph, Kemar Roach, Virasamy Parmal, and Jaden Seals.
Azari.
Yeah, I think Azari has been bowling really well recently, and there, for me, needs to be a replacement for Shannon Gabriel, who continues to appear unready for international cricket. he didn't play the last round for TNT because of a bit of a niggle. So I'm not looking in Shannon Gabriel's direction. So I'll go Alzarri. I think Alzarri he's been bowling very well in the last couple of months. So I've given him the nod there. No place in my squad for Shea Hope.
Permal.
Yeah, explain that one for me.
Well, Permal was outstanding for when the one match he played in Sri Lanka. He was the leading bowler, having just played one test match in Sri Lanka in the series that we lost. In fact, he took, I think Holder may have been the only person who took more wickets than he did, and or Warrican took more, but Warrican played both games.
Yeah. So
Veerasammy Permal played one game and took 8 wickets, and the body of work that he has put in the last few years, I think I give him the edge over Warrican for that spinning spot. Okay. So that was my reasoning behind Permal, but he's been bowling quite well.
Well, I want to see who George picked.
Right, so Kraigg, Shimron Hetmeyer, Nkrumah Bonner, Chase, Mears, Da Silva, Nicholas Puran, Jason, Kemar Roach, Shamar Holder, Jamel Warrican, Seals, and Reefer. Now, I see Lance had John Campbell, and I must tell you that I was tempted to pick John Campbell.
I had him too.
Until I looked at his stats, and I'm sorry, I can't pick someone who's averaging 23.7. Mind you, the averages of some of the gentlemen we have in the squad are not much better than his. But guess what? Guess what turned me off John Campbell?
That's how you got Hetty?
Right, I'm going to tell you why. Oh, excellent question, but I'm coming to that.
Okay.
I didn't pick John Campbell because if I pick John Campbell, I'm only playing him as an opener. If I have John Campbell and Kraigg Braithwaite opening, I hate opening batsmen who bat themselves into a stupor, who can't counter-attack, who can't force the bowlers to change anything, who can't put pressure on the bowlers. And if I have John and Kraigg, I have nobody who can do that. There's no dynamic there, yeah? And here's why I say that. John Campbell's strike rate is 51.15 in his 15 test matches so far. For me, that is not good enough. And when you align that with his, now if he was strike rate, if his strike rate was 51.5 and he was averaging high 30s or 40s or above, then there will be no problem. But your strike rate is 51.15 and you are averaging 23.7, not good enough for me. No centuries, 2 half centuries. I was tempted to go for John, but John's numbers turned me off. Now, let me tell you this. I went for Hetmeyer, my friends, because of the same reasoning. Hetmeyer's strike rate in his 16 tests, 73.63. He has no centuries as we know, but 5 half centuries. And he has 838 runs. I'm trying something different because we've all seen what the West Indies selectors have done over time, the opening pairs that we've had, and how we almost never get any productivity from the openers as a unit. Very rare that we get a good opening start.
So you're switching up.
So I'm looking, right, so I'm trying something different, Mara, right, I'm switching up. So I'm saying I'm going for someone who will block all day, Kraigg. And Craigg's bat is full of runs now with that 200 plus, a 318 ball vigil over 2 days. Craigg's bat is full of runs, so I'm fine, yeah? I want Shimron as my counter-attacking opener. And yes, conventionally it is not sound, especially with Shimron's proclivity in the white ball game. But I'm saying I want someone who can bat. Technically, can Shimron hit my bat? Yes. I want him to be circumspect, and I want someone who can up the ante and force the bowlers and the fielding team to do something different. I went for Jamel Warrican, Lance. I know you went for Permal because I'm looking at Jamel Warrican. In 2021, he played in 2021 5 tests. That's when he took the most wickets in his career. He has 40-odd wickets over 44. He took 19 of those 44 wickets in 2021 alone in the 5 tests, 10 innings. And if you look at his critical numbers, his average, his economy, his strike rate, and everything else, those are lower in 2021 than the other years in his career, which suggests to me that this is a bowler getting better. And I'm looking at his test stats. So on the fact that Jamel Warrican looks to be improving for me year over year and is right and cherry ripe right now, I'm going for Jamel Warrican in my team. So those are my 2 outliers. And of course, Nicholas Puran needs to play Test cricket.
I wanted to ask, that was my problem.
Puran needs to bat in the middle order. As a specialist batsman, Joshua De Silva has the gloves.
Adriel Woody Richard joins us now to continue this discussion on the West Indies Test possibilities for the opening test against the English. Woody, welcome to the SportsMax Zone.
Hi, Lance. You're want me to comment on West Indies teams, lads. I really don't try to comment on West Indies teams these days because we have this discussion only a couple of days ago when I was doing radio commentary. I was holding on for Andrew Mason, who was doing the T20s, and I said then, and I'll say it now to you, it's 6.5 dozen as far as I'm concerned. Because we make a lot of song and dance about a lot of players, and then in the end, they all come back to disappoint us. So I just leave it to what the selectors do. Yeah. There are some players that you say, yes, a guy has done well, and he's done consistently well. You look at someone like a Devon Thomas, who had 3 scores over 50 for the season, and you may say, should he get in, should he not get in? And if you don't see him, you say, well, you just shrug your shoulders, you move on, you know. So I don't really get into those picking of teams, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Just to segue from the discussion we were having just now, Permal or Warwickon?
6.5 dozen, lads. you could go either way.
I was making the point that they played the last series and Warwickon played both matches and I think took 9 wickets, and Permal played only 1 match and took 8. So on the strength of Permal's last outing for the West Indies, and as I said, the body of work that he has done in regional cricket year after year after year, I think he would be hard done by if he doesn't make the 13, Veerasammy Permal.
Not a bad argument, sound argument. You know, he's done very well for the Guyana Jaguars, and he really, and bowling in some place like Sri Lanka.
Yes.
We normally will go with spinners in places like Sri Lanka and not see them get the success. But on this occasion, Permal went up there and he did get the success against the Sri Lankans. So I think on the basis of that, you know, I don't want to have a difficulty, lads. But as I said, it's either way. I will be happy with whichever spinner is chosen because, you know, they've all done pretty well for themselves in the last year.
All right, Woody, we'll leave it there. We'll talk again soon.
Yes.
And we have a lot more to come on the SportsMax Zone. Back after this.